Hey, little Guns N' Roses, little Guns N' Roses. If it was only so easy. Oh my goodness. Election day, does your vote really matter? That's the question I want to ask. If you feel your vote really matters, just put yes it matters down below. Good morning to the Daily Dose special edition, Election Day edition. Now, let me just clear the air. Of course, your vote matters. Of course, your vote matters. That's everybody's on edge. I don't know why. It literally just came on. Guns N' Roses. I was going to put on some worship music, and I love worship music. But today is more of a Guns N' Roses kind of day. Like, it just popped on, and I said, let's go with it. So, Election Day. Does your vote really matter? Of course it does. In fact, not just today, but the votes that you make every single day of your life truly matter. Of course, maybe you even voted. Like my wife and I, we went early voting. So we already got our vote in. You know, your vote matters, right? You can't complain if you don't vote. And it's the same in life, right? Think about this. You make choices, and basically every choice that you make in your life, in your decisions, is a choice, right? You have the choice, like who you're going to vote for. You have the choice to vote. But every single day, in fact, every decision you make is a choice. Are you going to choose to wake up? Are you going to choose to hit the snooze button and sleep in? Are you going to choose to wake up with a positive attitude? Are you going to wake up with a negative attitude? It's your choice. Or are you going to choose to skip breakfast? Or are you going to vote for a healthy breakfast and decide to make a healthy breakfast? Or are you going to vote yourself to get in some exercise? Or are you going to vote to just be lazy and wait it out through the holiday season and just start in New Year's? Are you going to vote for that gym membership come January 1st? Are you going to vote yourself and justify spending $3,000 on a piece of exercise equipment you know is going to sit in your garage? You have lots of choices, and at the end of the day, it matters. Why does it matter? Just as today's election, your vote there'll be a decision, there'll be a repercussion from your vote. Now, of course, it's the combined efforts of this country for as far as the votes. But let's talk about you and the votes that you have to make to yourself every single day, maybe even every single hour, maybe even every single minute, voting and making the choice to let the negative thoughts get occupied in that brain of yours, or to let the positiveness, the things that you know are going to help you through the day, to be encouraged through the day, to keep you on track with the things you need to get done, right? At the end of the day, whoever turns in, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to be excited one way, and I'm not going to be so excited the other way if things happen, right? But I still have to live. I still have to pay my bills. I still have to provide for my family. I still have to vote for myself. So my vote is for today. My vote, now I already voted for the election, but my vote is for me today, to vote to make sure that I'm on the right path, to make sure that I'm doing the things that I need to live the life that I want for myself. Now, if you vote to be overweight, if you vote to be unhealthy, if you vote to be inactive, if you vote to be lazy, it's your vote, right? Your vote matters. It truly does, right? It matters in both directions. But I would say is when it comes down to voting, realize that there is an outcome from your vote. Now, if you've been voting for yourself to be overweight, if you've been voting for that fried food, if you've been voting to not feel valuable enough or that you're worth getting in better shape, if you are voting for that crappy relationship that you just keep getting into, if you vote for being depressed about the job that you have, that's your vote. It's your choice, right? You can either play the victim card here or you can be the victor. And the only way to be the victor is to get out of victim mentality and to choose you. Today, I'm not only choosing me today, I'm choosing you. I wanted to come on here in this episode of the Daily Dose to truly encourage and inspire you, because today is probably the day a lot of people are going to be excited the outcome. And there's a lot of people, look, they're already boarding up. It's very sad to think that they're boarding up the city in different cities. They're boarding up buildings, expecting there to be rioting, expecting there to be angry people who are going to take out their anger. That's another vote. You have a vote to express your anger But don't be surprised if you express that anger that you're going to face the consequences. I like to share this with my kids all the time. Is like, I tell my teenagers, I have a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old. I have one who's 1 year away from voting, and we'll cross that road the next time it comes around, right? But for now, my kids know that the choices they make when they vote, they can vote and make good choices, or they can make not so good choices. At the end of the day, there's a consequence to the choices they make. If they end up making some bad choices, they're going to face the consequences. If they're going to make good choices, then there'll be repercussions. There'll be outcomes from those positive choices. Does that make sense at all? Like, does that make sense? So yes, today, Election Day, is probably the only day in the year that I watched it a little bit. Maybe I would say probably my entirety in this election season, pandemic season, all the craziness going on, I probably watched an entirety, maybe 40, if I was be honest with you, 45 minutes of the news. I'll probably watch more than that tonight just to see what's going on. Of course, anticipating, right? And knowing if who I voted for wins or not. And I don't even know if they're going to be able to decide. But at the end of the day, tomorrow will come. And regardless, I'm going to still have to make votes. I'm going to still have to make choices. I'm going to still have to decide if I'm going to allow my anger or maybe even my celebration, if I'm celebrating, get the best of me. And I think that's what the world tries to do. It's what news tries to do. It's what society tries to do. It tries to pull you down. The enemy wants to attack you when you're weak. And I'll tell you what, we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We don't know what the next week or month is going to bring or next year. Look, could you have predicted 2020 to what happened in 2020? Zero people predicted probably zero people predicted. At least I didn't know what was going down. When the whole world shut down, we were away on spring break last year. We were enjoying a beautiful family vacation, and all of a sudden the world pretty much fell out. So with that, we still had to vote. We still had to make the decisions over the last 10 months of the year, whether or not we were going to vote for us. My family, each of them, you have to make the decision. You want to follow in fear and be a victim for your whole life? That's not me. It's definitely not in lines with the values that I want to instill in my family, my wife, my children as well. And I can tell you, it's not the way to go. There's outcomes for being a victim. And here today, regardless of who you're deciding, again, most importantly, go vote. You can't complain if you don't go. Even if you do vote, just know it's going to be hard even for me to complain based on the outcomes, right? But your vote matters. Your vote matters. And I'm talking about the votes that you have to make. Just think of this. Decisions you make today. Breakfast, for perfect example. Getting up. Did you hit the snooze button? That's a vote. Well, nah, I'll just hit the snooze button. You just voted to sleep in when you could have maybe gotten up a little bit earlier, gone for a walk, maybe prepared a good healthy meal. No, I'll just hit the snooze button. Why bother? Why? It doesn't work. I've tried exercising. I can't get in better shape. I have injuries. I'm too old. I'm too lost. I don't know what to do. Same thing with food and dieting. I've lost weight. I can't lose weight. There's nothing works for me. None of those, no diets where I don't know what I'm doing wrong, right? I get this conversation with people every single week. And Mark, I'm just looking for the right program that fits for me. And then I go on and have a conversation and they tell me the things that they know they should be doing and they're not doing it. And I was like, well, just do what you're telling me you're not doing and chances are you're going to lose weight, right? It doesn't take a rocket scientist or an expert to do that. But people still, they fail to make those choices. They fail to vote for themselves. And my question for you today, if you're voting for yourself, in other words, if you're voting for you to move forward, if you're voting to become the victor out of this, if you're voting for you to lose the weight, if you're voting for you to get in better shape, if you're voting for you to move forward in life and become the absolute best, regardless of how many days or years you have left, you're going to have that vote if you are. But then you're like, Mark, I want to lose weight. I want to get in better shape. I've been voting against myself for years and years and years. Well, it doesn't mean you have to keep on that direction. You can change your vote. Unfortunately, in your election, you can just make one vote and that's it. And you cast your ballot. The good news is you can vote for you every single day. In fact, you need to. You have to be intentional about voting for you, about making the decision that you're going to move forward. You're going to live a life or live your day being encouraged, being inspired, surrounding people around your life who are going to build you up, not tear you down. Invest in relationships. Invest maybe in yourself. Invest in a coach who can help oversee that you are on the right path, that you're taking the right steps necessary, that you're not going down the other direction, that other vote that has really just not served you well in the past. Have I ranted enough yet? So I'm excited for today. I'm excited that in the election season that was so probably a struggle bus for many of you, that I didn't struggle too much on it because I didn't focus on the negative. I focused on what I can be focused on the decisions that I make. I knew I could vote for being healthier. I knew I could vote for my business. I knew I could vote for the people that want to be in my life, and I can spend time with them, invest in them. I can invest in myself. I have my own coaches in my life. I've invested. At the end of the day, you're either spending your life away or you're investing your life. Now, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good investments out there, but there are a lot of bad investments as well. Investments are going to pull you down, waste your energy, decrease your self-value, decrease your self-worth, if that makes sense. You are good enough. You're valuable enough. In fact, if you weren't valuable, God wouldn't have made you in the image of Him. Can you just imagine for a minute? Can you just imagine if you woke up every day and realized God created only one of me, only one of me. He created just one unique individual. He designed me. He even knew how He was going to form me. I was intricately formed before I even came into this world. God did that. Like, can you imagine how valuable you were? So regardless of if you've been voting the wrong way for yourself for years and years and years, today, election day, today could be your election day. You make the changes that you need so that you can live life. Like, I don't know, I would say there's gonna be a lot of mopey faces today, a lot of nervous faces, anxious faces, depressed faces, fearful faces. And you know what? You can let the enemy get in. You can allow that enemy to take a hold of you. And guess what? You're giving up control. As humans, we are asked to give up, to surrender control, but not to the evil, not to the devil, not to the world. Surrender our control over to God and let Him take over. Now, does it mean we can just pray and we can just hope and we can just, wish for the best? It's beyond that, because that is important, but you have to take action. There's action steps that are required. When you vote, you're actually taking an action. People that go to the booths today to vote for whoever they vote for president and all the other officials, right? You're going to cast your vote. Well, what did you have to do? You had to take action. You had to get in your car, or maybe if you were signing and putting in the mail, however you were voting, right? You had to actually do something. You couldn't just say, okay, I vote for this guy, and that's it, and then your vote counts. It took an action step. Even saying it takes an action step. So saying to yourself today, time to elect you. This could be the season, not just in the next 4 years, maybe the next 40 years, you can elect you. You can make the election about you, saying, today is the day, it's election day, and I'm choosing me, and I want to be the best. I want to lose this 40 pounds once and freaking for all. I am tired of living on the struggle bus. I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of having no self-value, self-worth. I'm tired of my clothes not fitting. I'm tired of waiting to the new year, to failing on my resolutions. I'm tired of the crappy relationships that are around me that are only trying to bring me down. No. You're good enough. You're beautiful just as you are. Sure, right? In the eyes of God, you're beautiful no matter what size you are, no matter if you're a weakling, no matter if you're strong, no matter if you have hair, if you have facial hair, no matter if you have hair in your ears, no matter if you have 3 eyes, if you have no eyebrows, if you tattooed all over your body, you're valuable. Obviously, right? God created you. You're valuable. But if you don't feel that value, Yes, it helps to have the value knowing God loves you no matter what, right? And but he doesn't want to keep you in that spot. He wants you to pursue your absolute best. I know, I've seen transformations in people's bodies that allows them to do so much more in their life and on the purpose and plan that God has put in their world and in their life. And they realize, gosh, I'm really not taking care of myself. And gosh, you know what? I'm not really serving myself well. And how am I able to serve my family? And how am I able to serve my neighbors and my place of work? How am I able to do the best job that I can in my workplace if I'm not even taking care of myself? How can I be the best parent to my children and be a role model for them and to bring them up and to raise them and discipline in a way that they will become their own adults someday if I'm not even doing that for myself? Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope this encourages you. Today's the day. It's election day, but every day is election day, and every day is a day that you have the choice to make to vote for yourself or not. Simple as that. If you don't know what that looks like, reach out to me. We can talk about it, have a conversation. Don't wait any longer. Don't say, oh, let me just wait till the timing is right. Let me just wait till my finances are right. Let me just wait. Let me just make another excuse. Let me just wait till next. Mark, I'm just going to wait until next election season to get in shape. Let's just wait for 4 more years and let my body get 4 years older and let my body get 4 years out of shape even more and let me get 40 pounds overweight and let me just feel all of the repercussions of the votes that I chose to make not for myself. So again, it's funny because a lot of times people come to me and they say, Mark, that I don't have the time. I have to take care of my kids and I have to work and I have no time and no effort. And that's very selfish of me to actually think that I can take time in my day out for myself when my kids need me and my work needs me and my spouse needs me and I have to take care of all the things that I need to take care of. And I would say is you're being selfish by doing that. In fact, you're not giving your best by being selfish. And the way to be least selfish is to actually make sure you're taking care of yourself. So today could be the day. Today is the day that you, obviously, if you're going to vote today, you vote for who you vote for. But then after you leave that voting booth, put that sticker on and say, I voted. Maybe you need to wear that sticker, I voted today, every single day. Maybe you need to get a sticker and put it on your shirt every single day to tell yourself and remind yourself that you're voting for you today. Does that make sense? If it does and you love this, go ahead and say, I vote for me today. Do it. Write down in the chat right now. If you listen this far, I vote for me today and every single day moving forward. Take care. God bless. Talk soon.